There's always moments like this as a wrestling fan where you feel like that your loyalty is tested. As for me, not quite so much, but I can understand why they're in that situation. You can tell that the WWE is definitely losing touch with their fans. Like, seriously. And I'm not going to go too much into this because it's going to be another discussion at another time. But the universe was definitely very quiet, very silent for the universe's standards. But let's talk about the actual show itself. Now, the opener was all about Alexander Rusev, and honestly, how dominant Alexander Rusev is. And they're still doing that whole ridiculous Cold War gimmick. That's something I don't really agree with because I think the Cold War has ended many years ago and it's time to move on. But I don't know. It's an opener that was kind of unexpected. But the thing is, the one moment that really did make fans extremely happy throughout the entire night was Roman Reigns. Any mention of his very name has people screaming from the top of their lungs about Roman Reigns. And it's a given that people want Roman Reigns to be a champion. But you can also tell that John Cena, he's not as booed and as hated as he was. I'm actually hearing a little bit more cheers. And let's face it, kids can't scream that loud. Well, I take that back. They really can't scream that loud. But it seems to me that there's a lot more people that are starting to respect John Cena a little bit more than they did before. He's not way over as he used to be, but I will say that there are some changes. But as for his moments, his promo in the ring between him and Roman Reigns for the match that they're gonna have at Battleground, I will say that John Cena was practically the life of that entire promo. People may say Dean Ambrose because Dean Ambrose came in a close second to actually be the voice of reason. Shocker. But, you know, Dean Ambrose ended up making it a very short night because he got the ever loving crap beat out of him and he wasn't even in the main event. But either or, it was all about John Cena and Roman Reigns. And this kind of makes me look at Battleground. Okay, you got two characters that the WWE Universe wants to go at it. Like, they want to see John Cena and Roman Reigns. They don't want to see the other two. They don't want to see Kane, and they don't want to see Randy Orton. They want to see these guys go at it. So why don't you make it? They should, instead of making it a fatal four-way, I hope they change their mind and just make it a one-on-one. Or maybe they're saving that towards SummerSlam. Maybe they're making his rematch for SummerSlam, which would make sense. So that'll be okay with me if that's a possibility, because you can tell that people really do want Roman Reigns to go against John Cena, and I'm hoping they make that happen for SummerSlam. But if that's the case, it's going to pretty much be a very lackluster main event at Battleground. I don't know. But let's move on from there. I'm going to talk about some of the highlights of the night and some of the lowlights, or things that pretty much kind of jumped out at me. I'm not going to really go like full circle throughout the entire event because there's some things I really didn't care about. But the one thing that really does always slap me in the face is that you got one of the most racist characters in WWE history, hence the Real American Jack Swagger. Not so much Jack Swagger, but Zeb Coulter representing America. And then you got Alexander Rusev and the Floridian Lana, or the overrated Russian Floridian Lana. I need to stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop harping from the fact that she's from Florida, but I'm sorry, it's just kind of odd to me. But the overrated Russian Lana and and Alexander Rusev representing Russia for a debate to bring the countries together. Dude, the Cold War has been over for a very long time, and I'm not saying that there's no harsh relations between the U.S. and Russia, but for crying out loud, there's not any kind of cultural impact at this very moment. There might be, I don't know. I don't really watch the news that often, but either or, just let it go. Seriously, let it freaking go. But that was a moment that a lot of people were excited about because, sure, patriotism, always patriotism. America, America, USA, USA. That makes anybody excited if they're a U.S. citizen. That's pretty much what it is. And that was a moment that really did get people excited. But here's a few question marks that was over my head. Number one, yes, I'm a Ric Flair mark. I'm not going to deny that. And I like Chris Jericho. One of the two legends in WWE history. You got Chris Jericho, who was the first undisputed champion. Pretty much spouting out his credentials in the ring. Making sure that people remember him, in my opinion. And then you got Ric Flair. Woo! woo, that nobody cared about. Barely any woos out there. Dead. And Chris Jericho was really doing a great job for Bray Wyatt. And people didn't like Bray Wyatt's promo. They booed it. And Ric Flair did everything to get the crowd hyped up. Like, he flirted really awkwardly with Renee just to get people to be excited about him. Dang, dude, these are legends. Like, really? You got the crowd quiet, and they're legends. That shows you, WWE, stop relying on your legends. People are ready to move on. So, move on. Stop bringing them back for like 5 minutes. Please. Overall, that just really made me sad. And that was one of the question marks in the night. And I know half the crowd knows who they are. And that's what made me sad the most. But another big question mark over my head is this. The feud between Stephanie McMahon and Nikki Bella. We know that John Cena and Nikki are dating. We know they've dated for a very long time. And we know that they're dating because we saw them on Total Divas. So why, oh why, is John Cena not coming to her aid when she's literally being bullied by Stephanie McMahon, when he has no qualms of getting in her face, spouting out what's right in the eyes of what you've done to Daniel Bryan? You can't spout out good stuff for your woman. Like, you can be in the face of talking about how great Daniel Bryan is, and when you come back, I'm going to give you a title shot. But you can't come to the aid of your woman. Question mark. Dot. Like, seriously. What? What is that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're not hiding anything. We know you're dating. It's okay to come to your woman's aid. That would be great. If you don't want to be stereotyped as that, then that's stupid because it's wrestling. It's not like you're an actor. Well, kind of. But either or, come on now. That made no sense to me. And then let's move on to something that's really, really stupid. Summer Rae and Layla finally ended their feud with going against each other for the love of Fandango because they gave up on Fandango on SmackDown. So now all they're doing is dancing on tables and flirting with Dolph Ziggler just to make him jealous. Who's winning this feud? Not them. Fandango. He's still winning this feud. And this feud is still happening. Why? But anyway, let's move on to something else. I'm really happy to see, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, I really didn't care about this, but I was really, really happy to see Eva Marie going up against AJ Lee and really doing a good job doing it. She's not as great. She's working on her craft. You can tell. She's gotten a lot better. She's getting a little bit more confidence. She's still very nervous going out there, and she's still trying to be very careful in the ring not to hurt people and not really just going with the flow. But you can tell that she's trying. Her character still needs work. She's still a little bit stiff and stale, but she's still working on it, and it still makes me happy to see her out there. It really does, because you really do want to see somebody do well, and I think that she will do well with her gimmick once she realizes the character she wants to be. I know she wants to be a heel, but it depends on what direction they push her in. But it really does make me happy to see her out there versus AJ Lee. And honestly, I think she did great. And Bo Dallas is definitely starting to grow on me. Like, seriously, I'm really starting to like Bo Dallas. He makes me laugh every time he comes out. And I'm kind of excited to see Bo Dallas promos. I never thought I would. But I can tell why people like him. He's really awesome. Like, he's really fun to watch. And maybe because I'm kind of suffering from Santino Marella withdrawals. But maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But honestly, I really thought it was a great moment. I really did. But let's move on to the main event of the night. I really didn't care much for that. Seriously. And I'm not going to go into detail because of this. We know that Roman Reigns is being pushed. He's being primed to be the next champion. It's a given. Especially the way that Roman Reigns was standing tall on the very end. But in my opinion, it's a teaser. I really don't feel they're going to make him champion this early. I think it's going to probably be a SummerSlam. If that's even possible, that he might be a champion then. But I really do smell a double cross. I really do believe that the Shield is going to double cross the Authority yet again. And the Shield might reunite. And I'm not saying that the guy's not doing too well on their own, but I really do believe that it's going to be the ultimate double cross with the Authority. But then it's going to, in the end, it's going to probably break them up because Seth Rollins is going to take advantage of Roman Reigns being champ, and he's going to take the belt from him. So either or, it's going to be a double cross of the Authority, but who's going to win in the end? Seth Rollins. But y'all, I want to hear your overall thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section below and send me a video response on what you think about Raw, if you're going to watch Battleground, how you personally feel about, about the whole idea of WWE in general, and whether or not you feel kind of disconnected from it. But that's going to be a whole new discussion at another time. It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out, y'all. Later.